So I'd like to introduce you to Eva and Sam, and they're the owners of Style Optique in Market Drayton, which is in Shropshire, quite near to where I live. And it's an opticians with a difference. So Eva and Sam are both optometrists, and Eva is also a qualified image consultant. So how do you put those two things together? So let's find out a bit more. Okay, so I've got a few questions here to ask, and I'm just delighted that Sam came today as well, because originally we thought it was just going to be Eva, but he could
very
not
last minute, so not well prepared.
He could not resist, could you? You could not resist being on the big screen there, Sam. So it's brilliant.
15 minutes of fame.
Yeah. So the first question I've got, which I think is the question to both of you, is tell us the story of how you met each other and how you came to set up Style Optique.
Okay. Okay, so how we met each other was actually nearly 20 years ago, 21 years ago. Yeah. On Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, and we were at university at the time, both of us, and I was walking home with my friends, not drunk, may I add, but I was walking home with my friends, and I fell over and tripped up, and Sam came to my rescue with something like arnica or tiger balm or whatever he had. He was like, you bruised your leg, I'll help, and that was it, really.
Yeah,
that was it.
I've always been a helping soul.
Yeah.
You know.
So can I just ask a question there, Sam? So she didn't trip up over something that you put out so that she would trip up?
Well.
Talk to her.
I made sure all the street lights were out.
Yeah.
Sufficiently dark.
Well, that's great. So how did you come to set up Style Optique?
So, I mean, very early on in our marriage, we had our children quite early, just after we finished university. So we were sort of 22 when we had our son, and then 24 when we had our daughter. And then we had more later on down the line, but we're talking about the beginning bit. So we locaned a lot then. So both myself and Sam would work at different opticians, and we learned quite a lot there. Yeah. Probably more what not to do than what to do. And then in 2011 was when we decided to get our own practice, and that was the practice we have now.
That we have now, yeah.
When we got the practice, actually, it was a very, very traditional market town practice. I mean, it was a lovely little practice, and the area is lovely and everything, but it was a very, very traditional practice. And one of the things I felt about our industry generally, and also from talking to lots of women and things like that, was, as a glasses wearer myself, I just didn't, all glasses were quite boring. They were all blacks and browns and tortoise shell, and there was nothing out there which excited
both of us,
well, me as a person, but I thought I can't be the only person that sort of feels this way. So I wanted to create a practice which had glasses that were more like jewelry, that were more like an accessory, that were exciting and that was different. The only issue we had at the time was a lot of the reps in the UK that would come around were bringing black and brown and tortoise shell glasses, because a lot of opticians in the UK like to take the safe option, I think. So that was our first difficulty. So we then started to travel abroad to Milan and to Paris, and that's where we realised there was lots of really gorgeous eyewear collections and independent eyewear designers. So we started to bring this eyewear back to Market Drayton, and see how people would respond, and they responded really well. But then we had this practice full of beautiful colours and amazing styles, and although I was quite instinctive at what worked for people, I didn't know why that was, and that kind of led me to do my style training, to train as an image consultant. I thought I really want to be able to help people and help them make the right decision. So then I trained as an image consultant, And that then really took the practice in a whole different direction, as you know, Jane, because you've been for one of our consultations. So then I really combined what I learned with image and combined it to eyewear, and we now do eyewear styling consultations, which take around about an hour or more sometimes if people are having fun.
Yeah.
We don't kick anybody out, but it's a nice, relaxed experience, which is quite, it allows women, I mean, as you know, Jane, to explore and kind of discover themselves and see for themselves colours and things which work for them. And I just really felt that was missing in our industry, especially for an accessory which is in the middle of our faces, you know, for everyone to see. It's a big part of our image, and lots of ladies were like me. Well, we have lots of ladies come to us that have worn glasses for 40, 50 years or more and have hated them. Like they've never found anything that they've loved or felt good in until they've kind of come to us and see, first of all, seeing what's available, but also had styling advice to help them reflect who they are and find something which works for their colouring.
And I just want to interject here because I heard about you through Facebook. It came up on feed, and so I thought I'm going to buy that voucher and just go and get this styling consultation. And at the time that I came along, I'd kind of knew that I wanted to get some glasses that were just to do with this job that I'm doing, where I'm in front of a lot of people quite often on a screen, but I'm hoping that ultimately there'll be some more face-to-face work as well. And I wanted something that was going to be kind of vibrant and dynamic, dramatic maybe, or something like that. So this is, I'm just going to try. There they are, look. Aren't they beautiful? Can you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And a few of you have seen them in the flesh as well, and I always get people commenting on them. But the best thing about them of all is that when I put them on, if I haven't got any like makeup on or anything, I just put the glasses on. Don't need the makeup. The glasses are just brilliant. And so I feel like these glasses kind of made a big difference to me. But I want to ask you both to just tell me some of the stories, because I know you've got lovely stories about the difference that you make as a business to people's lives, and that's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, Jane, for you, your glasses were like a personal brand, really, wasn't it? And we were talking a lot about personal branding, and we were talking a lot about the Zoom screen and how this is what's visible. So we do have a lot and lots of ladies like you. Probably the most. Well, I've got so many stories. Where do I start?
Laura.
The one, I suppose, I've got a couple of really good ones from recently, actually. We recently had a lady, and she, again, she'd been wearing glasses for, I think, around 40 years and never really had any glasses that she felt good in. And lockdown did not treat her particularly well. So she was diagnosed with cancer during lockdown. She lost her dad, and she had also was just really, really missing her grandchildren because they were a big part of her life. So when she came to see us, one of the things I always ask at the beginning of a styling consultation is what are you hoping to gain? What's your main reason for coming to us? And she just said, I just feel like I need a pick-me-up. I need like a pick-me-up purchase. And so we went through the styling like we did with you, Jane, and she came out really quite dramatic, but she wasn't particularly dressed that way. And the reason she wasn't dressed that way is because all of life had thrown a load of, crap at her, basically, and she just wasn't being true to herself, if you like.
Feeling it at the time.
And also she spent years in these glasses, which didn't make her feel that great. So, but she was very, very dramatic. So I knew straight away as soon as and she was very warm in colouring. So, and the glasses she came in were like totally not right for her as a person. They were not wrong, but for her as a person, they were not right, because the glasses she came in were very classy. So when we went through the styling consultation, well, she just loved it, and she fell in love with, I think, about 4 pairs, and she ended up getting all 4 of these pairs. And then she wrote to me going, oh my God, this has changed my life, I feel so amazing. And then about 3 weeks or so after getting these 4 pairs of glasses, she rang me up again and said, oh, there's a shirt in my wardrobe that don't match these 4 glasses. I'll need to come in and get another pair. And I was thinking, glasses are quite neutral colours, they'll work with most things. So anyway, I said, yeah, of course, come in again. If you came in again, I said, bring in these clothes, bring in these shirts. And when I looked at these shirts, I said to her, okay, these 4 glasses that you've got do go with really well with this shirt. And she goes, I know. I said, you just want some more glasses, don't you? Because they make you feel good. And she was like, yes. So yeah, so it's one of the things she said is it's really had an impact on her confidence and her self-esteem, and she's been noticed again, and people are complimenting her and saying how confident she is and things like that. And so that's a big thing. That's a big thing that we get a lot, particularly from women. We have had, I mean, the strangest one I've ever had was again, I don't know whether I've got time to go through. Are you okay for me to go through this next story?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Well, the strangest one we had was a lady who came to us about 18 months ago, and she came out really quite creative, but never, again, was in a job that wasn't allowing her to express that, and I'm not allowing her to express herself. She was in not a great marriage, I got the sense of at the time, and she was feeling really kind of down. So anyway, we found some glasses that she absolutely fell in love with. And then she came into us about 3 months later saying, she said, I'm not kidding you, Eva. She goes, but I put these glasses on and I feel like a different person. And they were a cat eye, quite a blingy cat eye, which were very different to what she came in. I feel like a different person. I felt more confident. She goes, I ended up quitting my job, starting up a new business, which is going really well. And then she came into us a couple of days ago to tell us that she'd left her husband and she's now fallen in love with a woman. And she's now the happiest she's ever been. And she said, and I want to tell you, this pair of glasses. So that's the most beautiful story that we've had. But yeah, so, but I suppose what it's made us realise, I mean, I knew glasses, well, any item of clothing, I mean, think of a woman's wedding dress, how she can feel in that, and how what we wear can affect how we feel in ourselves. And very often people who are depressed don't dress that way. You can often tell someone who's not depressed because we don't take care of ourselves as much. So we know that what we wear has an impact on how we feel. So it does make sense that our glasses are going to do the same. So I believe in this particular lady's case that their glasses have been a catalyst that kind of triggered, maybe other transformational things in their lives, really. So yeah. So I've got loads of stories like that, to be honest.
I know, yeah. So when you think about your business now, what are your business goals? How does that fit with making a difference to lives?
I suppose our biggest business goals is just to keep doing what we're doing. We're always, like with any business, we're always looking to improve on the experience and things like that. A big thing that we were doing a lot of before the last lockdown started was a lot of events, and like styling events, and
big charity events that we did,
charity events, body positivity events, all that kind, empowering women kind of events. But I like to do those live as well, and I really at some point do want to get back into doing that. And also because I'm an image consultant, bringing into our practice a lot more of the full styling and the makeup and things like that. And because I suppose a lot of our ladies have sort of said this to me, oh, do makeup, do full styling and things like that. And at the moment, our focus has been on the eyewear side, but certainly bringing the whole package will be something we're looking to doing in the future. Yeah.
Thank you. That's really interesting. And Sam, what's your favourite part of the work that you do?
Well, it's seeing the people pick up their glasses and the genuine delight.
Yeah.
Because when somebody comes to collect their glasses 2 or 3 weeks later, it's all covered up under a little, thing. They do a reveal, and the genuine surprise and the joy of when they put these glasses on, and they just feel great and look at themselves in the mirror and they go, yes, this is me.
Yeah.
And they can see, which helps because I did that bit.
And so do you get many men coming in, Sam?
We do.
Yeah.
It's more women. Absolutely. It's definitely something which appeals to women more. But yes, we do get men. A lot of the men we tend to get tend to be
the partners of
either the partners of the women that say you need to up your eyewear game if I'm looking so good. Either that or businessmen who do a lot of networking and want to again use their eyewear as a personal brand to make themselves stand out in networking events and things like that. So that's the other kind of extreme. I do style men slightly differently to women as well, I find, because I think with a woman, as you know, we take a lot more of a collaborative approach, and I really like to listen to what a woman wants as well as offering the style advice as well, because it's really important that we're reflecting the personality. You often find with men, they just go, tell me what suits me, tell me what, bring me something. With men, it tends to be a little bit more, I will just select for them and tell them what's going to work and why. So we also, I do alter the approach slightly.
And I think that Sam always looks just so fantastic. Just really stands out. Sam, have you got your sparkly shoes on today?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no.
Look at these shoes.
Yes, he's got.
They look fantastic. I love those shoes.
Although, I will say we have had a lot more men in pink glasses since Sam's.
Yeah. Everyone wants to be like me.
Yeah, brilliant. So tell me what your top 3 tips are, Eva, for our ladies, to help our ladies feel more stylish.
In clothes or in eyewear or in both?
I think
generally.
Both. Yeah, generally.
I think the first thing I would say to make you feel more stylish is don't save anything for best. Wear the nice things that you've bought. Don't leave them hanging up in your wardrobe, because so many of us are guilty. We'll buy a nice dress, we'll buy something nice, and then it just gets hung there, and we'll choose something which we don't feel so great in. So I think
really
waking up in the morning, putting on something that makes you feel good. And probably second to that, which is kind of on the same thing, is only buy something if you love it and it makes you feel a certain way, or you put it on and you feel confident. Because again, sometimes we buy things because they're in the sale and they're not quite right, or we buy something because it's cheap, or we buy something whereas very often if you invest in that thing that you really love and it makes you feel good long term, that's a lot better for how you feel and your mental health and how you're going to put yourself across in the world and your confidence. And probably don't be afraid of reflecting your own personality and dressing for yourself. I remember someone said to me, I can't remember who it was, but there's something called like the rule of thirds, that whatever you do in life, you know, however you dress, whatever path you choose to take in life, a third of people are going to love it, a third of people are going to hate it, and a third of people are going to be disinterested. So I always say, whatever you do, whatever you wear, whatever path you choose in life, make sure you're in that top third and you love it, and try not to worry too much what other people think. And that includes your own personal style as well. If you feel good in something, own it and be confident.
Wear the sparkly shoes.
What the sparkly shoes.
And it's interesting, that idea, isn't it, that you might kind of think that style is all about wearing something to impress other people, but actually it's not at all, is it? It's about wearing something that makes you feel good about yourself.
Yeah. I did, and I don't know that I've spoke to you about this, Jane, but I did a lot of study into fashion psychology, and there's actually been quite a few studies done on the kind of outside-in approach. A lot of therapies are based on that inside-out approach, working on your internal thoughts and things like that. But a lot of fashion psychology, they did a lot of studies, and actually on people who were depressed, and they measured their kind of depression scores. And then they did, I can't remember the exact things on the study, but they made them each day wear a bright colour one day, and then wear something which made them feel good. And by the end of, I think it was a month of them going through this, their scores had gone right up and they were in a lot better state of mind. And there's been various other studies done that what we wear on the outside, it's even having a great haircut. I mean, you know how that can make you feel. Your hair feels a bit bad, and then you go and have a nice haircut or a facial, any of those things, they can impact how we feel on the inside. So it's like, it's the outside in approach. But yeah,
I definitely support that, and Karen would concur, because I used to always wear black, and I wore it probably because it had become a bit of a habit, because I thought I looked slimmer in it. And probably also because I was a bit depressed, quite depressed actually. No, there's no secret about that. And we did a little bit of work with a lady in London who's a stylist, and she does kind of quite big personalities and that kind of thing. And she did a piece of work with us, and we learned quite a lot about what she does, and it just encouraged me to try some different colours. And now I wear lots of bright colours, and definitely started to feel better when I did start wearing bright colours. So I know
actually, that's a really good tip. I'm going to add a fourth tip. Because it does, and again, there's been lots of studies in not only can colour lift your mood. I mean, red actually is quite an energising colour, so I do tend to wear red if I'm doing any presentations or anything like that purposefully. So because it is quite an energizing color, so it can help. Red can be a good color to wear if you are feeling a little bit low in mood or energy, because it does sort of pep you up a little bit. But it also can change the mood of people around you. I mean, if you're looking around in a sea of people in black, and then someone's in a nice bright dress, it can make you go, oh, it's nice. Or if you walk in a field of loads of different colourful flowers, it makes you, lifts your mood and makes you feel a certain way. I mean, we feel happier on a bright sunny day than when everything looks dull and grey, don't we? I mean, it does have a big psychological effect on us.
It does, doesn't it? And it was interesting actually, because Anne, you and I were having a conversation, weren't we, about dress. And Anne was Anne was going out to buy some new clothes because she put some weight on, and we were kind of talking about those clothes, and she was saying, I'm just going to go and buy some tents. And I said, never mind that, Anne. I said, think about, and we thought about that lady, and I can't remember her name, but she's a really big lady, and her name's Alison something or other. What's she on, Anne?
The cook.
Yeah, she's a cook.
Andy Oliver.
Is that it? Yeah,
she's on beautiful bright colours and
right. Yeah, she looks fantastic.
And
And
glasses.
that's what I like about her. She's really inspirational
Yeah.
because she does not care how big she is. She just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And really stands out. And I think she's just, you know, that kind of is a really great advert for styling.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Eva, did you bring any glasses along to show us?
I can get you some glasses.
I think you definitely should.
I'm
Go
going
and
to
have a-
get
let's have a
some
look at them.
glasses, and I'll leave you to chat to Sam, shall I?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
There we go.
So,
It doesn't matter.
so did Eva style you then?
Yes. Well, it's a bit of both because I've always been a bit creative. I've always wanted to wear wild and wacky stuff. But being in a professional capacity, we were told we had to wear a suit, a tie, a stage shirt. But a few years ago, we said, well, the certificate on the wall is still the same. I'm still, when people come into an optician's, they're still going to see a professional. I'm just not going to wear a suit and a tie. That doesn't make me less professional. And hopefully you can attest to that. So I've always been a bit wild,
Good
but
for
he
you.
was like sort of tuned it in a bit better.
Anne, you've got a question.
Yeah. And can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I wear bifocals, quite
Mhm.
thick because I've got astigmatism as well. And this is the only style of glasses that I feel look right on me.
Okay.
And they're always very bland and they always have this sort of nothing at the bottom. Is there another style that would take such a thick, you see all these glamorous lens frames, would they
Yeah.
take such a thick frame, lens
Absolutely.
rather?
Yes. We've got just under 1,000 frames in stock, and
Wow.
they're all capable of taking high prescriptions.
Really?
So we, unlike a lot of the high street opticians, we deal with specialist labs who can make incredibly thin lenses. So we can take your prescription and make it look fabulous in a frame. I'll probably say maybe a rimless may not be the best frame for you, but actually having a frame like Jane's got, which is a full acetate, actually that does really well with a thick prescription because it can hide a lot of the thickness. So there's so many options, but it's just knowing. I mean, because we have professional dispensing opticians as well, so we have the right people at the right places to give you the right advice of what lens would work. So it's doable. I would definitely, not say no to that. You need to come in and we'll have a look. You don't live too far anyway, so we can have a look and have a play.
Absolutely. That sounds brilliant.
Anyone
Thank
else
you.
got any questions for Sam?
Nothing too hard.
Anna?
Sorry, I was on mute there. I didn't realize. I was just going to ask. You may have spoken about it just as I was coming in. So if you have, don't worry, I can chat to you later. But I look at a computer a lot, and I have obviously glasses. But I was wondering, there's blue light glasses exist, but can you have blue light plus your prescription?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's just an additional coating that we can put into a lens, and it just takes the edge off the sort of reflections coming off the screen, so it makes it feel better. But it takes an element of that UV protection as well. So yeah, it makes it feel better.
Amazing.
Yeah, we can take any prescription and put that coating on. So again, no problem.
Thank you.
Eva's got some amazing glasses here.
Let's have a look then, Eva. Let's see what you've got.
Well, I'd probably just say that a lot of our glasses that we do as well are handmade, made in quite limited pieces as well. So they are a little bit different to what you get on the high street. Now, this is one, a pink one. I don't know if you can see the detailing in this.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Because actually inside this frame, I love this little frame, and a lot of ladies seem to really like pink at the moment. So I think women seem to be really reclaiming their femininity, I think, if you like. So I think in the 80s and things, it was like, no, we don't do pink. Whereas now women are sort of going, yes, we are women and we do pink again. This has got silk inside the frame and feathers and little semi-precious stones at the sides. That's really pretty. Right, nice plastic shape, but what I would call quite dramatic in its colour.
That's gorgeous. I think that might have been one of the ones that I was thinking about.
Possibly. There's a few pink ones that we've got. What do I want to show you next? Because I don't want to scare you too much. That's the thing.
Got some Dame Edna's. Let's have a look at your Dame
Oh,
Edna.
go on then.
You're here to see something different, aren't you? You're not here to see something normal.
Look at those.
Wow.
They're gorgeous. Look at those.
Amazing.
If I'm not in these, I'm normally in a blue version, actually. Normally in like a blue version of these ones.
Ah,
So these are
wow.
red.
Very
They're
glam,
amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
aren't they? Beautiful.
Do you sell many glasses to people that don't need glasses?
Yes, or people with quite low prescriptions sometimes, yeah. Although a lot of people, I would say, although we do get that, it tends to be more people who've worn glasses for years and years and years and have never really found anything they've liked.
That's me.
But we do
I
get
can attest to that. I can attest to that. When I went in, my prescription is really, really, I needed some glasses for reading. And
Yeah,
so
all
I
that.
think, well, when I'm reading, I don't really, other people aren't really looking at me, so I probably don't need to buy fancy glasses for that. But so the top, so these are varifocals. So the top part of them is very, very mild, and that's for looking out at people when I'm on a stage.
Yeah.
And I just, and they were like, well, you don't really need these glasses for the top bit. And I was like, I'm having them. I'm having them. I want to wear them.
That's probably more common, actually, that we do have that. We have people coming in for reading glasses and then they go, but I really like these. I don't just want to put them on for reading. So they end up with like a varifocal. So even though there's not much prescription in the top, because they want them on most of the time. I mean, here's another really quite creative one.
Oh, they're
Wow.
And this one's got
those.
feathers inside the actual frame.
Wow.
But these are kind of really quite dramatic, you know. They're not for everyone. It's just a very certain personality type who is going to want something like this. That we
I think
do
we've got
have.
time for just one more pair, I think.
Oh,
Eva.
so do something. So do some sunglasses.
Oh, they're lovely. I like those. What are the arms like on them?
They're quite plain.
Pink.
Well, not plain. They're quite
What are
bright.
you saying, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
They match my nails.
Oh, you'll have to buy those ones, Nikki. I'm sure.
Yeah, just I mean, this is a bit more of a classic one, but just with a bit of colour in.
I
So we
love
do
that.
have lots of classics, you know, more easy to wear styles, but yeah, we like to allow people to express themselves with the different styles of eyewear. So yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. That was really interesting. Has anybody got any burning questions before we move on to the last bit?
Are they extortionately expensive?
Well, they are an investment purchase. Our frames go anything from around £180, and they can go right up to 1,500. So, but they are really exclusive, limited edition pieces with the jewelling and things like that. But most of our frames are probably a little bit more than the high street, around between anything around 250 and 100ish. Around that is where most of our frames sit. But as I say to lots of our ladies, because they're handmade, the quality of the acetate is a lot better and it's a lot more comfortable. So a lot of our clients will reuse their frames.
Oh, that was my next question. Can
yes,
you reuse them?
very
Absolutely.
sustainable.
So
Yeah.
it really is an investment.
Yeah, most of our clients reuse their frames. I mean, they might add and end up with different glasses for different outfits eventually. But yeah, they do very often, because if you fall in love with a frame and it's you and you've gone through that whole process of, yeah, these frames are me, you don't just want to throw them away 12 months down the line. You want to kind of keep them. And also it's sustainability as well. We actually encourage people to use the frame again if they wanted to.
Okay, lovely.
Well, when I was trying to convince Ian that I should spend, this money on the glasses, I did a calculation. I worked out how many pairs of glasses he's had over the years. And then I said to him, now you see, that's the equivalent of what I'm going to spend, but the glasses that I've got on now will last for the rest of my life, but the ones you've got on now won't. So I'm entitled to these. And he was like, okay, then, all right, then. And then went around telling all his friends, James just spent this money on some glasses. I just want to show you the sides of my glasses, actually. I meant to show you those. Aren't they gorgeous? Even that bit, I feel like I shouldn't cover it up with my hair. Eva and Sam, that has been such an interesting session. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, I'm going to post the video of this session tomorrow in the on the site, and also I'm going to put links into Eva and Sam's website. And when you get on the website, you can see there's a voucher if you want a style consultation with Eva. There's a voucher which is on special offer at the moment. So yeah, if anybody's interested. Oh, just a quick question, Eva. Can you do online consultations for people who are not?
We can. We can, and we do. We have done our online consultations. If you live close to us or you can get to us, nothing beats an in-store consultation, just because we've got access to all of the frames and everything, and we can actually put them on your face, and that does make a big difference. However, we have done virtual, and that kind of entails the same kind of thing as what we do in store over Zoom. But then we'd send a selection of glasses out, but it's not always known until they're actually on your face when they get to you, of how well they fit and things like that. So if you can come in store, that's always a lot better, but we do offer the opportunity to do virtual if you're exceptionally far away.
Brilliant, thank you. And I think the thing I just want to finish with is that what I just love is how you're changing lives, how people feel so much better about themselves because they've got the right kind of glasses on, and certainly I do. So that's why I think it's an important thing to be doing.